my goodness. Welcome everybody to Dishin with Paula. You know why we call it Dishin with Paula, because we're not just chatting with the president, we are cooking with the president. And Dr. Pando, this is the moment we've been waiting for. That we are at the kitchens at Reynolds, everybody, and we finally have Chef Pando. Paulita is here today. I cannot even wait for you to describe what we're doing for our special Thanksgiving edition. And honestly, we have been doing with Dishin what a lot of people have been doing, which is connecting over Zoom. You've been cooking in your kitchen by Zoom, but we're together now.
Yes.
And this is what food is supposed to do. It's supposed to bring us together. So we have this fantastic opportunity to do that. I mentioned that it's the Thanksgiving special. Dr. Pando could have done something like mashed potatoes, but let me tell you something. She's too spicy a president for that. She's a spicy leader, and so we are not doing your standard Thanksgiving mashed potato side. We are doing something so awesome. Tell us, Dr. P, what is on the menu for today?
Well, today we are making jambalaya. And it's one of my favorite things to make. First of all, I am so thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to see all of you. I'm thrilled to see all of you through the camera to celebrate this time of year, which is really about coming together. And jambalaya is one of the things I love so much because it reminds me a little bit about growing up. My mom would make this dish over and over called Arroz con Pollo, which basically means rice and chicken, which was delicious. I always loved cooking shows. When you called me Chef Pando, I almost cried. I think that somewhere in another life, that's what I wanted to be, is a chef, but I just love to cook. Anyhow, this is kind of a version of Arroz con Pollo, but much elevated from one of my favorite cities in the world, which is New Orleans. And it's jambalaya. And I remember when in the early days of the Food Network, Emeril Lagasse would talk about BAM and kicking it up a notch. So this is what I consider Arroz con Pollo kicked up a notch.
Kicked up a notch. Well, let's kick it, everybody. So Dr. P, you have actually done a little pre-prep work.
Yep.
But we've got some delicious looking and smelling, everyone, ingredients to go through. Let's go ahead and get rolling with your jambalaya. If we want to get a little fire going under there.
I'm going to get a little heat going under here.
What ingredients you're working with?
Sure.
What do we have?
So this morning we have spent the bulk of the morning chop, 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 and chop. And we've been chopping onions and peppers and celery and jalapeno and tomatoes, cleaning shrimp, slicing this, browning and so forth so that we could get here today and really start putting it all together, because that's really the magic of jambalaya. Lots of chopping and prep work, and then everything comes together in one pot, which makes cleanup fabulous. So I'm heating up right now what is the kind of the rendering of the chicken that I seared this morning and the andouille sausage. Now the chicken, if you've seen me cook before, most important step, pat the skin dry. Pat it dry or else you will never have crispy chicken thigh. And this is made with chicken thighs, andouille sausage, a whole bunch of spices, a whole bunch of vegetables, some shrimp, some delicious stock, and a little wine. So how could that be bad?
So, and listen, and I know you're serious about patting the chicken dry. You've lectured me on this before, like don't skimp this step. And I am the laziest chef in the world. You also have another rule with this, which is to not throw in your sausage with your chicken while you're cooking.
No, you have to do it this way, because when you throw in your andouille sausage, you want it to brown. Another favorite chef of mine, Anne Burrell, tremendous chef, her mantra is brown food tastes good. Yes. And so you got to brown it. If you crowd a pan, you will never get brown food. So you put in the sausage and then you take it out, and then you sear the chicken in that olive oil and andouille sausage rendering. Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
And I can tell you from observation here, I will not go over and like pinch a little skin off this chicken. I want to do that badly, but I'm not. It is crispy. I can tell that you have really crisped this up. High heat on the chicken? And
high heat.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. High heat on the chicken. And again, it's really a lot of the rendering of this great andouille sausage that we just browned. Brown food tastes good. Browned this morning.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So we're rendering here. And this is really an example of Dr. Pando's preparation skill and I think how a real chef operates. How about we're here at the Kitchens at Reynolds, but she wanted to bring her own Dutch oven. She's like, I'm bringing my own. So this is from her own kitchen. So this is what you use routinely.
I will tell you.
Why is the Dutch oven the good selection for this dish?
So I took a second mortgage on my house to buy a Le Creuset of this size. It's the only one that I have because they're pricey. I got this one on sale, but it has great surface. You can do high heat on it. And I think people who cook really like their own tools. Like I have some things that are the least fancy things, but it's my wooden spoon, or it's my slotted spoon, or it's my pan that doesn't look great, but it's my pan and I know the temperature. So I know how this baby works. So I had to bring my own.
Okay, I love it. There's some activity happening here, and you can really start to smell how everything is coming together. Okay, so we're going in hard, everybody. Is this butter?
So we're putting in a little butter. Now this.
That's the best way to start this.
Just two tablespoons of butter. I think that's about 2 tablespoons. We're going to be. This is for like 8 to 10 people. So when you consider the fat in it, it's not really a lot when you consider that this is going to be a really full Dutch oven, Marianne. So it might sound like, 2 tablespoons of butter and the fat rendering, but when you see the size of the meal and how many people it fits, think it's like half a tablespoon of butter per serving.
Yes.
So it's not bad.
You'll never hear butter complaints from me. I'm always go in hard with the butter. Okay.
So now we go in with the onions and the pepper and the celery that I chopped up this morning. And we're going to let this just kind of sizzle and become translucent, probably for a good 7 or 8 minutes. So, but the other thing that I've learned from great chefs is that you have to season everything. So you might think, well, I already put some seasoning on the chicken, so I don't need to. No, every layer needs its own seasoning, or else your meal will always feel under-seasoned.
I love that. And so with this, which I think you call the Holy Trinity.
Yes.
Okay. I've also heard it referred to as the rhythm section. I love both of those ideas because this is where so many good things start going. It's the pepper, the onion. Do you have a little celery in there too?
Yep. Pepper, onion, and
also?
celery. So this is just, again, it's going to cook down for a few minutes until the onion becomes translucent. Probably another 5 or 6 minutes.
So, Dr. P, let's talk a little bit about this decision, because this fascinates me, on whether you want to do chicken with a skin or skinless chicken. I mean, what are your feelings on kind of the boneless, skinless chicken generation versus going in with skin?
Oh, Marianne. Obviously, the skinless breast is a healthier option, and I'm sure it would do just fine. But not if I'm going to show my best dish. If I'm going to show my best one, it's got to have that skin on. It's got to be the dark meat, the thigh. It's the tastiest part of the chicken. I think it's the most under-celebrated part of the chicken, which is the best.
Yeah.
So it just brings extra flavor. Now, I don't cook like this every night of the week, so it's like we're going to do something for company. We're not going to steam vegetables and give them a paltry, pale little chicken breast and say, welcome to my home. You're going to do this, and then you can have a salad during the week. But if you're coming to my house, you're going to eat well.
And you know what I love about this? Because we've talked about this before, but one of my things about Thanksgiving, which I really love, is it's the most culturally malleable kind of holiday. Everyone can bring, you've got the traditional things about Thanksgiving, but you can have all of these neat little cultural touches for Thanksgiving and really make it feel like it's your family's Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
So do you all have a particular tradition where you're like, you know what, not everybody might have this for Thanksgiving, but we have it when you come to my house?
Absolutely. So my father does not like what he calls turkey. It's very dry, and he doesn't understand the tradition of turkey. It's very dry. So we have a lot of extra things to either moisten the dry turkey or we just add things that are not traditionally Thanksgiving. I have Italian friends who make a Thanksgiving lasagna, and they'll put it on. A lot of my Dominican friends, they make something called pernil, which is like a roast pork shoulder, which is amazing. And they'll have a little turkey, like a little one for show, but they don't really eat the turkey. So our turkey generally becomes a salad the next day.
Exactly.
We don't hit the turkey very hard.
You're right.
But we have, all different kinds of things. We've done macaroni and cheese together before. We elevate mashed potatoes with roasted garlic. Vegetables, get roasted with pancetta and balsamic. So to try and make, things that we would normally make, but just a little tastier. Again, don't do it every night of the week. But it's, it's a special meal that we make. So because Dad does not love the turkey, we have a lot of sides that will please him.
I get that. I mean, my dad, one of my favorite memories of him is he would smoke these turkeys. He had one of these barrels that you cut open and you make a grill, and he would smoke the turkeys overnight. And you literally didn't have to carve it. They'd fall off the bone. And when you eat turkey like that, you really get spoiled.
Yes.
Now, I've never had I'm not a fried turkey person. The fried turkey people fascinate me. The peanut oil fried turkey folks.
They scare me. Someone will get hurt. Someone's going to get hurt.
There's some stories with fried turkey, but I have not had the fried turkey experience. But I'm willing to try. So where are we with our Trinity and our rhythm section?
Okay,
this is
so
looking good.
I think we're looking good. And if I did prepare some cheat sheets for myself because
of
so we
course.
got this, we got the 10 minutes. So now we're going in. We're moving that butter. See, that's gone. We don't need this anymore. So for anybody who thought all of this butter, it was just 2 tablespoons. Just want to let you all know.
Unless there are rolls after the show, and
then you can have your butter. So now we're going to start putting in some of the spices, the tomato, etc. So this is 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and sometimes people just put it in and then they crowd it with everything. I just like to move it around a little bit because I don't like the raw tomato paste flavor. So I just kind of mix it around, make sure it hits the heat, it makes contact with the pan. And now we start adding the other stuff. So this is 28 ounces of canned tomatoes, peeled, chopped. So we put those in, yum, yum, all good. We put in the garlic, 2 tablespoons. This is 3 big cloves of garlic. For me, not enough garlic ever in anything, so I was not a pleasant first date. Cayenne pepper. Some people think we Latinos love the heat. I'm kind of heat neutral, so I make sure every seed is out of... that was a little cayenne pepper. I make sure every single seed is out of the jalapeno peppers because it's the seed and the rib where the heat resides. So enough heat to make it interesting,
right.
But not enough heat where Paula won't touch it. And then we put in some spices. We've got some thyme and some oregano. All right? And I think that's it. So now we're just going to...
This is beautiful. It's beautiful looking. It is such a pretty, it's already so pretty in the dish. It looks and smells so good. Dr. Pando, how are you on your measurement game? Are you super specific? Are you just roll with it and see what's going on?
The only place I am specific is when cooking things like rice. Because if you don't put enough liquid in, you're going to end up with hard rice. If you end up with you put too much liquid in, you end up with a ricey soup. So, but as you can see, it's kind of a...
Just go with
and
it.
You just, kind of go with, I think when you're cooking for a while, and I love to cook, you kind of get a sense of portions, that's a lot of tomatoes take a lot of salt. They just do.
Yes.
So I'd put more salt on tomatoes than I would something else. So I am a kind of feel my way kind of gal there. So we've put in all of that, and I'm going back against, so now we're doing just 2 minutes again to just cook off that tomato paste. And then I'm going to...
Now, some people watching are going to be the tomato paste people that have the sugar hack, where they add a little sugar to. I don't know. Look, it's wild and crazy. I didn't make it up. I have definitely heard of people saying, well, if you're going to use that much tomato, you got to sprinkle some sugar in. We'll talk about that after with the show.
Now, perhaps my favorite ingredient of all, little wine, little Pinot Grigio, about a cup of that. Now, I asked Chef Miller, I was like, I don't want to put it in a measuring cup. I want people, it's wine. So he told me, up to here is 1 cup. So I've learned my new hack that I don't have to.
That's genius.
Yeah. So we're gonna, little more.
Yeah.
We got a cup.
We got a cup.
We got a cup.
That is a wonderful hack that I
Yep.
am definitely going to remember.
Yep.
And I have to remember also not to pour myself the wine first, because then that's going to mess up the whole hack idea.
That's on Sundays. little glass of rosé on the side
Exactly.
while I'm cooking the long meal. So again, we're just gonna scrape the bottom. All of the best bits are always at the bottom, and wine does a great job of deglazing. So when you think, oh no, my pot's ruined, I have all these brown bits, put a little wine, it'll scrape up everything, and that's where all the flavor
Pulls
is.
that right back up. And I noticed that you're keeping this on, would you say this is a medium to high flame?
It's
or
a
what
medium
flame?
high right now, because we're going to then turn it real low and simmer when we put the rice in and all of the other ingredients. So, okay, I believe now we are ready. So now we're going to add all of our stock. So this is 5 cups of chicken stock. Okay, so we're going to add that. And our rice. And this is just long grain rice. And we're going to add our andouille sausage.
Oh, look at that. That looks so delicious.
Our andouille sausage. We're going to, I'm not going to splatter, so we're going to use the tongs to put in the chicken. The chicken was just browned, so it's going to finish cooking in here. And, okay.
And I am actually spying over there shrimp. This is that going to be a late breaking addition to the jambalaya?
That's a
Okay.
finale.
That's a finale.
Okay,
Okay.
bay leaves. Okay, I'm going to put 3 bay leaves in here. Let me just see how we're doing there with the heat. And just make sure all of these guys are swimming nicely in their jacuzzi here, their little jacuzzi tub. And okay.
Audience, does this look as delicious there as it does here? Oh my goodness.
All right, so we put our stock, we put our rice, we put our sausage, our chicken, our bay leaves. We're going to bring this to a boil, cover, and simmer for 20 minutes.
Okay. So we
So we've got to bring it to a boil here. Let's get this guy super high. Bring it to a boil, and then we'll cover it for 20 minutes. And then the way we finish it is once the 20 minutes, so that the rice is fully cooked and your chicken is fully cooked, then you throw in some of your shrimp and your vegetables literally for the last 10 minutes.
Okay.
Like that's it.
That is the, okay. But
Yeah.
don't, see, I like that you have the patience of knowing the steps when to do this. You can't throw your veggies in now and go start another Netflix show. You have to go ahead and commit to, watching this, bringing it to, you have to commit to certain parts of the dish.
Commit. And I highly recommend during the holidays where I was doing a lot of cooking, I had my little iPad there, and I, like the rest of, I would say the women, but I think all America, was binge watching Bridgerton. So watching Bridgerton while spicy show, spicy vegetables.
Exactly.
So my little iPad kept me company while I was.
Oh my gosh,
serving the
that sounds like the best way to just completely detach. And you have said this, that cooking relaxes you. You're
Sure
the busiest
does.
person in the world, but
Sure.
you really, this is not an unusual thing for you to be putting together a dish like this.
Right. No. This, I know for some people, cooking is a chore, it's a labor. For me, it's actually the very thing that relaxes me, because all I'm doing is this. And the Duke of Hastings.
Right.
But this.
Exactly.
This is kind of all that I'm doing. My whole universe is this pot and kind of the noise, the busyness, challenges at work, when you're a parent and worrying about your kids and aging parents, all of those things, it's all here. And so it really is relaxing, it's joyful. And then my favorite part is when people eat and enjoy it, and there's fellowship is just
I love
greatest.
that. I love that. And this is why it's so fun to actually have you here with people around. We have talked about this moment for a while, and now that we are actually in the kitchens at Reynolds, which is an absolutely beautiful facility, but to have our friends and colleagues here with us who could join and be a part of the studio audience who are, again, rubbing their little palms together, waiting for our jambalaya to be done. It looks wonderful. So where are we in our process right now, Dr. P?
So we're almost fully at a boil, and then I'm going to cover it and put it to low, and we're just going to leave it be for a little bit, take a little break if we need to. The 10 minutes or so that the rice is cooking, or 15 minutes or so that the rice is cooking, then we'll add all of the rest of the ingredients and they'll steam and we'll be done.
Really?
We'll be eaten.
So we've got this to simmer. We will come back. While that is simmering, maybe we can chat for a moment or two.
Sure.
Because this will be the first Thanksgiving a lot of people will have been able to get together.
Yes.
In a couple of years. And it's just been crazy. We have made it through an incredible time. Our students have had to dig deep. We've lost students. We've had to do some soul searching as a college. It's been tough. But when you think, Dr. Pando, about our students, our employees, staff, faculty, is there anything in particular you would say you feel thankful about, thinking of the moment we're in right now, or in your own life?
Sure. I think, first of all, I'll say last night we were here for our first college board meeting. Right here, there were no good smells, I might add. It's just a beautiful space, but we weren't cooking anything. And as I shared with them, the challenge of understanding, or I should say the tensions, the competing tension of understanding that we have so much work to do because so many of our students we don't see them in our hallways anymore. They either didn't come in or they left kind of midway through their program. And the urgency of finding them and getting them back on track. And at the same time, recognizing that our staff, our faculty, all of our colleagues are tired. And we're human before we're anything else. I'm human before I'm a president. You're human before you're the director of development and fabulous host. Everyone in this room, being a human being is your first identity. And so understanding that and communicating that to faculty, staff, understanding and recognizing that we're tired, and yet, we have work to do because our students in our community need their college. They need their college. So I think the most important thing is just recognizing it.
Right.
Just, I see you. I see, I know, I understand, and I'm experiencing it too. Right. But we get up every day with that commitment. My gratitude to the people who work with us every day, who, despite the fact of being tired, despite the fact of having experienced loss, they still come in every day connected and committed to our mission. And that I'm incredibly grateful for this season. Okay.
So Dr. P, we have been simmering. Tell us a little bit about our simmer time. Remind us how long we're supposed to simmer.
So we turned it to simmer 20 minutes so that the rice cooks and that the chicken thigh finishes cooking.
All right. And we've got one more super jammy ingredient, another super jammy protein. Tell us what's happening now.
This is 1 pound of shrimp. Okay. So we are going to, oh my gosh. What do they call it? A chef facial? I feel my pores opening. So we're going to put the shrimp in all around there. Okay. And we're just going to tuck these guys in there. And we put them in last because shrimp cook quickly. And if you overcook shrimp, you get like rubbery shrimp. It's not very good at all. So now, if you're allergic to shellfish, and I know a lot of people are, you don't have to put in the shrimp.
Right.
It's just not as delicious.
And these are fresh? So these are not like little frozen guys that you just...
Nope. Okay. These are fresh that I peeled and deveined this morning. And so that's it. Now we're going to let these guys just kind of cook with everything else for 5 minutes.
Okay, where are we, Dr. P?
Okay,
Our shrimp have been, oh my gosh.
Can you see that, folks?
Yes, we can. That looks beautiful.
Sorry.
Yeah. You have to, and here's the thing, Dr. Pando, she admitted that when she's doing this at home, she does this with a soundtrack for her jambalaya. So she has some, what is it, Cajun music?
Cajun music.
that
You
plays.
can't do this listening to Phantom of the Opera.
Right.
You know? And I love Broadway musicals, but you can't, beneath the opera house. No, it's got to be some good Cajun music. And I, kind of dance around the kitchen. It is really my happy place. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sneak out these little bay leaves, because as much as they flavor food, you don't want to eat one ever. So I think I got 2. There's a 3rd one in there, but I'm not going to mind for it. So here's what we're doing now. We are adding this half a cup of lemon juice, okay?
Wow.
Half a cup of lemon juice. I'm telling you, Flavor Town. We're going to add most of the parsley, okay? Most of it. Yeah, there. Most of the parsley and most of the scallions. Why most? You will see. And we're going to just get it all in there. You can see why I have this big
Yes.
pot.
And that liquid has really, the rice
Yep.
has really soaked up that liquid. This looks so hearty.
So this is now, we turn this off. And we just let that steam for a couple of minutes. And we're done.
Okay.
Just let it steam for a couple of minutes. When I take this off, I'm going to sprinkle a little parsley and a couple of those scallions so it remains crunchy. But then we're done.
Wonderful. Dr. Pando, you have outdone yourself today. We are ready for the big reveal.
All right.
Show us our finished product, please.
Ta-da!
And even better, we don't just get to look like we've been doing in Zoom. We actually get a chance to taste. So we have got a fabulous, our studio audience is here. You know, you recognize these faces, folks, and we are ready to dig in. But Dr. Pando, I am going to let you close the show with a Thanksgiving greeting for our Reynolds community.
Well, thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you all. This is a season where we all hopefully reflect on all of the blessings in our lives. We reflect on the gratitude we have for our family, our friends, our health, especially our health these days. And so I wish for every one of you, every friend of Reynolds, employee of Reynolds, student of Reynolds that might be watching this video, from the Reynolds Community College family, we wish you a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving.
Wonderful. All right, let's eat, people. Is it good? Is it so good? Is it good?
Thank you. We'll see y'all next time.